Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Decisions are issued to determine the leave on the occasion of the Holy Prophet's birthday anniversary for the public and private sectors. A workshop at the Ministry of Civil Service discusses the relation of regularizing with classifying balancing jobs and career planning. And a medical conference on safety and quality of laboratories held in the Governorate of Dakhiliya. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of condolences to His Highness Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, Emir of the State of Kuwait, on the death of Al-Sheikh Sheikh Salim Ali Al-Malik Al-Sabah. His Majesty the Sultan has sent cable of greetings to Consular Akila Saleh Isa, Chairman of the Council of Deputies of Libya, on his country's independence anniversary. And His Majesty sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Shinzo Abe, Prime Minister of Japan, on his re-election as Prime Minister. His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal bin Saud Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court and Chairman of the Civil Service Council, issued a decision determining leave on the occasion of the Holy Prophet's birthday, peace be upon him, anniversary. Sunday, the 13th of Rabi' al-Awwal, 1436, corresponding to 4th of January 2015, shall be an official leave for employees in ministries, public authorities and other units of the administrative apparatus of the state. His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser Al-Bakri, Minister of Manpower, issued a ministerial decision determining that official leave on the occasion of anniversary of Holy Prophet birthday, peace be upon him, will be on Sunday, the 13th of Rabi' al-Awwal, 1436, corresponding to 4th of January 2015, for employees of companies and establishments of the private sector. The decision allows employers and employees to agree on compensating this leave if necessity arises to work during the leave. It is also a must to compensate workers whose weekends leave falls on this occasion. All employees in public and private sectors seize the opportunity of the occasion to extend their utmost greetings and best wishes to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, praying to Allah the Almighty to protect His Majesty, grant him good health, happiness and long life, and to return this occasion and its similar on His Majesty the Omani people with welfare, good omen and blessing. Deliberations of the second training course for the Minister of Legal Affairs began today to discuss a number of themes related to the prerogatives of the Ministry of Legal Affairs. The 5-day course introduces the specializations of the ministry, ways of practicing them, legal legislations, government conventions and international agreements, as well as spreading legal awareness and cooperation with all states' administrative units. It was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar Al Marhoon, Minister of the Civil Service. With the aim to shed lights on the general specializations for regularizing and classifying jobs, the Ministry of Civil Service organized a workshop entitled The Relations of Regularizing with Classifying Balancing Jobs and Career Planning. It included various topics related to jobs and the importance to study unit career planning requirements to implement the study and occupational requirement, as well as the performance levels. More than 100 representatives from the civil service sectors take part in the 3-day workshop. It also aims to determine the needs to prepare the types of jobs for the main and branch regulative divisions for the government unit specializations, as well as determining tasks and responsibilities of those institutions. Malaysian Transport Minister Leo Cheung Lei said today that Malaysia had deployed 3 vessels and 1 aircraft to assist in the search operation for an Air Asia plane that disappeared while flying from Indonesia to Singapore with 162 people on board. The Airbus A320 was bound for Singapore from Indonesia's second largest city, Surabaya. A massive sea search was launched near Belitung Island and in the Java Sea, over which Flight 8501 lost contact with ground traffic control about 42 minutes after taking off today. Later in the day, an official with Indonesia's Search and Rescue Agency said the search operation had been suspended due to nightfall and would resume tomorrow morning. The planes involved in the search returned to their base this evening, but that some ships were still in the area where the plane lost contact with air traffic. Every week, hundreds of Africans try to scramble over the high fences that encircle Melilla and Ceuta, 2 Spanish-ruled peaks on the northern tip of Morocco. Here is a report.
A meeting of continents. The Spanish city of Melilla has one of only 2 land borders between Europe and Africa. It's separated from northern Morocco by this 7-metre fence, the last barrier for thousands of desperate migrants scrambling to enter Europe.
I hid my money in my top and put my telephone in my underpants. I attached hooks to my hands. We shouted, "Now's the time, let's go." And 200 of us charged and started running to the fence.
Nearly 20,000 Africans tried to scale the fence in 2014, playing cat and mouse to evade capture by Spain's border police. The guards are accused of breaking international law by beating migrants and deporting some of them on the spot.
The migrants are getting injured a lot. Another thing that's happening is that they're getting expelled immediately, with no administrative procedures whatsoever, just opening a gate in the fence and throwing them out.
Other migrants risk their lives by stowing away in cars, trucks and boats. As many of them want to reach other countries like Britain and France, Spain says the rest of Europe must help too.
Melilla's immigration problems affect not just Melilla and Nador, which is the region next door in Morocco, and not just Spain and Morocco. It's a problem for the whole of the European Union.
For those who do make it over the fence, the first stop is a temporary immigration centre where they wait to hear whether they can move to the mainland. It's crowded, but compared to the poverty and violence they left behind, life here for many is still an improvement.
We eat well here. Everything we want, they give us. This is the first time since I was born that I feel good.
2,000 migrants have reached Melilla in the past 12 months by scaling the fence. Many more have failed, but will be determined to try again. Meanwhile, new measures from EU leaders to tighten the borders are expected in 2015.
You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. The traditional Herero dress marks a century-old tradition guarded by the women of the tribe in Namibia. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Sultan Qaboos Higher Center for Education, Culture and Science held a ceremony to conclude mosques programs of the year. During the ceremony, participants in the programs which were rendered at mosques in different wilayas of the Sultanate in the past months were honored. The number of honored people was 85 from their eminence, sheikhs, scientists and lecturers in different intellectual and creative arts. The ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Habib bin Mohammed Al-Riyami, Secretary General of the Center. The Sultanate achieved the 5th position at the Arab level in Global Index of Telecommunications and Information Development for the year 2014, which was issued by International Telecommunications Union. The Sultanate became the 52nd place at world level according to the report Arab ACDL establishment affiliated to International Federation for Telecommunications said. The results mentioned that good performance of Gulf Cooperation Council countries in this report came under the title Report on Measuring Information Society. It also mentioned that the index is a compound measurement sorts 166 countries in line with levels of telecommunications, technologies and information in addition to their usage and skillfulness. Investment requests in Special Economic Zone at Duqm reached more than 194 since the start of this year until November. Government and private sector investments in the zone recorded more than 2 billion Omani Riyals and government investments portion was 1.7 billion Riyals. The zone renders investment advantages such as exemption from taxes for a period of 30 years from the start of the investment activity. Within the framework of acquainting with the French technique in manufacturing and marketing perfumes, the Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development organized a gathering for those who took part in the training program on introducing the French experience in manufacturing perfumes. The gathering aims to exchange expertise development skills of entrepreneurs in the Sultanate in addition to enhancing quality of Omani perfumes and frankincense and create partnerships between Omani and French sides. A number of shows were displayed during the gathering showcasing experiences of the entrepreneurs as well as the program's schedule which lasted for 5 days. Entrepreneurs visited Frogonard Training Center, Dominion Farms and Grass Institute for Perfumes, where they learned the method of growing and reaping jasmine. Muscat Securities Market MSM General Index today added 2.4 points, comprising a rise by 0.04% to close at 6,436 points. The trading value today stood at 7.38 million Omani Riyals, comprising a decline by 26.34% compared to the last session, which stood at 10.02 million Omani Riyals. The report released by MSM pointed out that the market value rose by 0.03% to reach about 14.67 billion Omani Riyals. The report added that the value of the shares bought by non-Omani investors reached 442,000 Omani Riyals, comprising 5.9%. The value of shares sold by non-Omani investors reached 1.4 million Omani Riyals, comprising 20.25%. A medical conference on safety and quality of laboratories was held in the Wilaya of Nizwa in the Governorate of Ad-Dakhliya. It witnessed participation from more than 400 specialists and doctors. During the conference, the participants discussed various topics, namely safety, procedures in laboratories, as well as mechanisms of quality control in analysis operations. It was considered an opportunity for medical cadres to exchange knowledge and expertise in this field, in addition to get acquainted to the latest scientific developments. It came to stress on the significance of developing medical laboratories in order to provide the best services for the patients. A traditional shooting competition was held in the Wilaya of Ibri at the Governorate of Al-Zahira. It was organized by Zahir Al-Fawaris Group in the Wilaya. It witnessed a participation from more than 270 shooters from various governorates of the Sultanate. The participants expressed that such events are considered important in preserving the traditional heritage and these deep-rooted sports, as well as to gather the members of the society. The idea is to focus in the weapons on the target and shoot from a distance. After that, the points are evaluated. At the end, the winners of the first places were honored. Layers of clothes, puffed up sleeves, embroidered blouses and horn-shaped hats. The traditional Herero dress marks a century-old tradition guarded by the women of the tribe in Namibia. More details in the following report.
Layers of petticoats, puffed up sleeves, an embroidered blouse and a hat meant to look like horns. Felicity is donning the distinctive traditional Herero dress. She's attending a wedding in Ovitoto, a village in Namibia, and all the women are wearing these heavy outfits.
To show that you are a Herero woman, you have to wait. It's a must to us, especially if you are married. Those half naked is not allowed. Every time, whether there is a wedding or whether there is an occasion or whether there is something, you have to wear it.
The patterns and types of cloth have evolved, but Herero women have been wearing the same style of dress for a century. It appeared after the German colonialists quashed a rebellion, killing more than 90% of the Herero population before the First World War. The survivors imitated their Victorian style, but with a few tweaks, like the hat, a symbol of the Herero's most precious asset, their cattle.
I think it's a response of saying, like any people who have been subject to severe genocide, attempt to exterminate them, they pull into a very defensive and very proud and very specific cultural mode, and they'll still practice that wherever they go. So even if they're in Botswana, they're still wearing the full Herero dress.
The older women wear the dress all the time, even in the city while working. But the younger generation only don the heavy outfit as a show of respect for weddings, parties, funerals and Herero Day.
Today is a day where you should have fun, you should be free, you should wear whatever you want, you mix in. And tomorrow is when you're supposed to wear the dress and so forth, yeah, because then the bride is leaving, things go sad and all of that.
It's mostly the eldest ladies wearing it. Unfortunately, because of the way the world changes, young ladies have to go to work, and so they don't wear it regularly.
On the second day of a Herero wedding, the bride is paraded, hidden in front of both families. It's also the occasion for some teenagers to wear this dress for the first time, a sign that they're becoming women. Herero men, however, don't have any special garments. In this group, women are the keepers of the legacy.
Well, beautiful dresses there. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning along the governorates of Al-Buremi, Al-Dhahira, Al-Wusta and Dhafar. Winds will be northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be moderate with a maximum wave height of 2 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Decisions are issued to determine the leave on the occasion of Holy Prophet's birth anniversary for the public and private sectors. A workshop at the Ministry of Civil Service discussed the relations of regularizing with classifying, balancing jobs and career planning. And a medical conference on safety and quality of laboratories is held in the Governorate of Al-Dakhiliya. From Oman and wherever you are, thank you for watching Sultanate of Oman television. Good night.